My name is Mike May. I'm the Vice President of Table Operations at Pechanga Resort and Casino in Temecula, California. So I started in the industry in 1980 at Bally's Atlantic City as a crap dealer. It initially was going to be a couple-year experience for me, and I was one of the lucky ones who started to get promoted up through the ranks. And when I left Bally in 2009, I was Vice President of Table Operations there. So I was one of the lucky folks in the city who was able to stay at the same property and then go through every position from dealer all the way to Vice President. I'm very casual. I'm a surfer at heart, so my staff is well aware of how I like to do things from a standpoint of not really thinking of yourself as someone with a title. We've all kind of come up through the ranks. That's the unique aspect of table operations. So I remind not only myself, but all the folks that I work with that I was a crap dealer at one time, and I understand that operation, and I try to keep it as casual as possible. So it's an interesting market. The market really has three facets of competition. Obviously, Native American casinos in Southern California are a part of that competition. Las Vegas, which for our property is a major competitor. And then we have the card rooms. The card rooms have really developed into a more casino-oriented floor. When you think of the card rooms in California in the 70s, a lot of it was poker-driven. And what has really happened is they've moved to table games. They've eliminated the fee charge on bets on a number of those tables. We have almost 300 mini baccarat tables in Southern California, and the majority of those are in the card rooms. So table games, I think from a competitive standpoint, where the real innovation is coming is in analytics. I mean, the reality of it is most of our revenue is driven by the traditional table games. Blackjack, craps, roulette. Those are the areas where the majority of our revenue comes from. The industry has made some changes over the last few years from a standpoint of how we get the analytics has become more difficult. If you walk the casino floor in some of the biggest casinos, you'll see one person watching 8 table games. So we have had this huge expansion of companies who want to take that analytic and use it to really sell a new opportunity for innovation. But the reality of it is you're still getting bad information with the minimal amount of coverage. So what we've tried to do is work and partner with the vendors. We're one of the only folks in the country that uses Bally's business intelligence. We've helped to develop it to work with us. And we have a very unique relationship from a standpoint of our property. We work with IT, we work with marketing. We have the largest double-deck pit area probably in the country. So it's a reminder that the gambling aspect is one part of it. It has not gotten to a point where it's technically expanded into a unique environment. But the background of how we look at our customers, how we use psychographics as opposed to demographics is unique to what we do. Obviously, I can't tell you everything we do on the back end, but I will tell you that from an innovation standpoint, we use partnership with vendors and a relationship at the property that is not just table games. Gambling, when you look at an environment of Southern California where gaming has expanded and has been around for a long period of time, the gaming part of it does not become the driver. It really becomes the amenities in the long run. Atlantic City made this mistake and didn't look at probably an environment of where they were going to have competition eventually, and where they really, really should have changed the environment for folks to come down there that was not gaming related. So that's really the path and on the back end and what we can do from an analytics partnership, both internally and externally. So think of Los Angeles, and that's our driver from a customer base. So every type of person, ethnic background, experience background, there may be 20 million people that we can draw on. So what we've really done is focused not only from a ethnic background, but an age background too. So if you look at the shows that we do, that is specific to certain age groups. If you look at the game types that we offer, we have a very large Asian business clientele. It's also international to some extent with the amount of folks that come into LA. So what we really try to do is offer what the customers want. We do a lot of surveying that really drives the business based on what our customers need. So they're savvy. It's a much more metropolitan area. They're very aware of what goes on in Las Vegas. So for us competitively, we have to really, really be aware of what that customer base looks at. From an age group standpoint, we understand the slot demographic is a bit older. And from a table game standpoint, that's the next generation. That's the group from a social standpoint through social media and interactions. They don't want to sit at a slot machine and not have an experience with their friends. They want to be at a table game where everyone can be at the table. We're celebrating their wins. It's not like the old days where the old casino operators would look at a table and sweat the money all day long. We want people to win. We want them to have that experience because a billboard's one thing, but if we have a customer that goes into Little Saigon and tells all of his or her family and friends what a great experience they have, that will go tenfold compared to any kind of mailer or anything along that lane. So our host group is diverse, our staff is diverse, and it mirrors the customer base that we have. I think if you look at it from a microeconomic, just take a look at Atlantic City. That's the biggest challenge right now. There probably is too much gaming in the country. We're lucky in Southern California in the fact that the expansion is relatively controlled, but it's not the saving grace for communities. I think the obvious mistake that Atlantic City did is that they thought it would be the be-all, end-all and save all the ills, and it just does not. So expansion is really the biggest problem we're having.